The Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India has played a pivotal role through progressive reforms, customer-centric regulations, and its vision of insurance for all by 2047, driving greater accessibility, trust, and innovation in India's insurance sector. Our keynote speaker for today is Shri Swaminathan Iyer, Member Life IRDAI. Before I invite him on the dais, a brief introduction about him. Shri Swaminathan S. Iyer joined IRDAI on 1st May 2025 in the post of Member Life. Prior to joining IRDAI, Shri Iyer, ACS LLB, was Executive Vice President, Legal, Company Secretarial, Regulatory Affairs, and ESG at Tata AIA Life Insurance Company Limited. Prior to this, he was Senior Vice President, Legal and Compliance, and Company Secretary at HDFC Standard Life Insurance Company Limited. Out of his 35 years of experience in financial services, he has been associated with the HDFC Group for over 16 years and with the Tata Group for over 14 years. He is a veteran in the life insurance sector in India since 2000 and works closely with the regulatory authorities and the insurance industry in shaping governance landscape for the industry. He is a member of the Institute of Directors and a life member of the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. In addition to being a sports enthusiast, he is a percussionist and also a trained faculty of the stress management programs of the Art of Living Foundation and attributes his progress in life to His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Shri Iyer, may I invite you on the dais for your keynote address on the regulator's vision for insurance 2030. A huge round of applause for him.
Okay. We don't need to be so silent. Just give me a minute. It's not a very serious issue that I'm going to talk about. It's a pertinent issue, but not so serious. Give me a second. Yeah. So good morning, everybody. You know, I'm used to getting a feedback always. Thank you. Thank you. That's the policyholder feedback. Okay. We couldn't be at a better situation right now in this country. The country which is poised to be at the fastest growing position right now. And I would like to just correct her statement that the IRDA's vision for Insurance for All 2047, it is the industry's vision. Insurance for All 2047, IRDA is an integral part of the industry. That's how we look at it. Okay. So, when you look at Insurance for All 2047, you know, how this got designed, when did we do this? You know, it's important to refocus on that vision time and again as we go along that path. It says Insurance for All 2047, where every citizen has an appropriate life and health and property insurance cover, and every enterprise is supported by appropriate insurance solutions and make the insurance industry globally attractive. That's the vision. Now, obviously, it's a very tall vision, and it is exactly in tandem with our Viksit Bharat vision in this country. And, you know, it's important to have this Insurance for All 2047 as a very pivotal vision. And the reason is because in this country, you see, when a person sits down to do a financial planning, where does insurance come in the priority? Whether life or health or property. where does insurance come in the priority? Somewhere maybe in the lower middle or lower level. Okay. The fact is that risk mitigation is always at the top priority whenever you design any strategy. At a corporate level, we all understand this. That while we are planning for a particular project, what are the risks of that project? And how do we mitigate those risks? Like we always talk about plan B. Keep that always in mind. In our personal financial planning, we never have that risk mitigation as a prioritized level. Okay. That has to change in this country. Now, when I go back to look at some numbers, and I'll not dwell on industry numbers because it's there available in public domain and we have spoken about it also. But when we are talking about insurance penetration and density, I've said this earlier in other forums. What do you mean by penetration? I am not looking at penetration as a 3.3% or 7.3%, 3.7%. Forget it. 2047, what will be our population? 1.6 billion? A guess? Yeah? Now, out of 1.6 billion population, what would be the so-called insurable population? 1.1? 1.2? Okay. Look at it today. What's my population as of today? 1.47 billion. Let's say 1 billion is the insurable population. How many have we covered? That is important. Okay. Otherwise, these numbers are very skewed. You will have 20% of the people holding 80% of the premium. And the premium as a percentage to GDP really doesn't tell you that the guys who need the insurance at the ground level actually have it. A base insurance has to be there for everybody. After that is your call, how much you want to insure yourself. Okay, and that's where the protection gap also comes. The industry keeps talking about it. There's an 80-85% protection gap, which means what? Underinsured. Okay. Now, appropriate life, health, and property insurance cover is what the vision says. What do you mean by appropriate? Whether it is suitable for him, whether it is adequate, and whether that will be sustainable. Okay. Now, on a life insurance side, let me give you this number when I talk about sustainability. What is the persistency ratio? 5th year persistency is 50%. 10th year persistency is 10%. Which means what? Out of the 100 people who were sold an insurance today, 10 years down the line, there will be only 10 people around, continuing to pay premiums, which means 90% of them have dropped off somewhere, which are areas that we need to focus on. And a policy not being persistent, a policy where annual premium doesn't come, it's not good for the company, it's not good for the agent, it's not good for the policy holder. So, it has to be a huge area of focus for us. Okay. 2047, is it far away? No, it's 20 years down the line. I am still, I still recollect very vividly the 1991 economic reforms. 1991 to now is what, how many years? We have crossed that period and we don't even realize how quickly things have moved. 20 years will just come. Now, does that mean I should panic? No, I need to plan well for this industry. Now, I've been told about 2030. 2030 is it's not a focus that I can, in this industry, I should do, okay, for the next 5 years, how much business I will get. For the next 10 years, how much business I will get. This has to be a very, very fundamental planning in this industry. And when I'm saying fundamental planning, not necessarily focus on how much business you're getting. or the numbers part of it. Okay. Now, again, life insurance, it's growing at a CAGR of 14%. Health insurance, there is a gap. Climate change is happening. 1 in 100 scenario is becoming a 1 in 10 scenario. That's a big risk. Pensions, there's a retirement funding gap at 93%. Now, these are gaps, and these are huge opportunities. That's how we should look at. And these are the opportunities which will help us reach to that 2047 vision. Again, when I look at gaps, what are the gaps? Financial literacy is a gap. Awareness about insurance is a gap. Affordability is a gap. Accessibility is a gap. Product complexity. And I'm happy that there is a panel here, and I would urge that panel to look at product complexity as an issue. And I've said this before, again, I'm repeating it at the cost of repetition. And I'll give you my example, my personal example. 1 week back, I concluded it 1 week back. I was wanting to renew my motor insurance. It sounds a very simple thing, right? Renew the motor insurance, just go to the website and renew. It's online, aajkal hota hai. But mind you, sometimes it is unfortunate that the person, the customer is an informed customer. Because I am asking questions. And I'll give you an example. This is the first year renewal of the motor insurance. So the first broker who sold me that insurance, he gave me a quotation of, and giving you some number, let's say 31,000 rupees. I said, okay, let me take some quotes. Vehicle details are obviously always available. So the other insurance company gave me a quote of 14,000 rupees. I said, oops, what am I missing? Am I missing something? So I asked further questions. Then they said, okay, sir, we'll make it 28,000. I said, hold on, let me go and check. Mind you, it took me quite some time to make all products comparable. Now imagine the guy on the ground, the common man. He will not understand that by why is it important to have own damage as well as third-party damage policy? We have to make him understand. Okay, then it's his call. But it is important to make him understand. And these are the things that we miss. Again, coming back to product complexity. The rider today sells the product. And not rider as a rider. So a lot of products built with riders, it's the rider which is selling the main product. How many customers understand this? Okay. How many customers really understand the jargons that we use in health insurance? Again, personal example. I had a medical procedure at home. It has taken me 1.5 months to get my claim. Asking questions. I'm happy to answer all questions. But don't ask me the questions that your hospital or network hospital is supposed to answer. I don't know. You asked me to go to a hospital, I went. No, please ask that doctor and sort it out amongst yourself before you come back to me. See, what happens is all these somewhere convert into dissonance. Okay. And again, we have panels on AI models, we have panel on product. We need to have a focused panel on building trust. Okay. When I look at complaints, grievances, 2 large buckets of grievances. Mis-selling, non-receipt of claims. We are talking about a financial product which is intangible. It's a piece of paper which tells the customer Don't worry, if something happens, I am around, either for you or for your family. And then you have the guy being told, sorry, this is not the product that you are supposed to buy. You bought a wrong product, or a wrong product was sold to you. And again, sorry, this particular claim is not payable, and therefore, sorry. Now, imagine at the end of a claim, recently we had a review of the insurance ombudsman. And an insurance ombudsman doesn't come at the fag end of the policy cycle. It comes after the policy cycle, mind you. And their feedback, you cannot ignore even a word of what they say, because their feedback is the ground reality. And they give us this feedback about the way products are designed, the way services are given. And that brings back to product complexity. Please keep it simple. My stark example of a simple product is my Parle-G. It has not changed over the years. It's a 16,000 crore business is what I'm told. But neither look and feel, nor the taste, nor the price. Okay, and you don't have to think much. That is how we should be looking at simplifying, I'm saying. I'm just making a point, but you should simplify products. Now, it's a free market economy. And in a free market economy, customer is the king, is what we have all learned in school and college. But the king also needs data. The king needs information. Please provide him the information. Please keep it upfront. Disclose. Be transparent. Once you do that, then it is his call. And that is where we miss out. Having disclosed everything to the customer, then if the customer says, sorry, I understood it wrong, it's your problem. You understood it wrong. But he will never be able to say that I was not told about this. Go through some companies' websites and tell me where you can find a complaint section. Go through some companies' websites and tell me where you can find an About Us section. No, because we come from the sector, from the corporate sector, we know where to search, where to find, go to sitemap, mil jayega. But imagine a customer who wants to reach out. Where does he go? A lot of times, complaints and query is put in the same place. And we have actually pointed out to some of the companies. I have to click 6 screens before I reach the complaint section. Reach out. What's your problem? Just reach out to the customer. If he has a complaint, it's a good opportunity to interact, solve the problem, create more trust. I always use my 5A concept. Awareness, accessibility, affordability, assurance, and therefore acceptability. Insurance today is always looked at as a push product, and therefore the distributor's product. And I have distributors sponsoring this program, I know. But it's a distributor's product. Distributor decides what product you should design, which he will sell in the market. When do we make it a pull product? Only when you start making it a pull product will you have customer demand, customer telling you, what do I want? Okay. In my previous avatars, in both the organizations, I used to always ask this question. When you design a product, what feedback do you take from the customer? No, the bank partner told me this is working. The broker told me this is working. So what have you asked the customer? आपका पैसा है, आपका रुपया है, आपको क्या चाहिए? We very rarely we do that. And it's an industry matter. Mind you, it's not one company's matter. And I would always love to ask the insurance councils to take these initiatives. Reach out to the customer. Every company does its own mystery shopping. Okay, as a matter of process, you do your mystery shopping. But you know, it is an industry matter. So it should be the councils who are doing mystery shopping. Anonymized, okay, it's fine. At least you will know what the feedback is at the ground level. Now, awareness is I've always said, people are not aware. You ask a common man, motor insurance क्यों ज़रूरी है? What does he say? नहीं तो RTO पकड़ेगा. हेलमेट क्यों जरूरी है? नहीं तो RTO पकड़ेगा. Getting my point, only those who have had a claim incident would realize that, okay, insurance is working. Now, that awareness has to be created. Similarly, standardized communication across the industry. We have done that. In the life side, we have done सबसे पहले life insurance. But communication doesn't work one-off. It has to be consistent. ये एक लोहार की नहीं है, ये 100 सोनार की है. You have to hit continuously, consistently across all sections of the society. You have to continuously beat this drum and make people realize why insurance is important at the beginning of their financial planning. Accessibility again, make product and services accessible, and I've told you on the website side. Okay, from a initiative perspective, you started the Bima Sugam project. Bima Sugam project will work on making information accessible, products accessible to customers, and also services accessible to customers. But that's, it's a collaborative effort across the industry, and I really hope and wish that this will be a huge success for everybody. This is like the rail network. It should be like the rail network in the insurance industry. See, affordability again. The Pradhan Mantri schemes have reached up to a particular level to help people have affordable insurance. But again, I'm kind of inclined to tell you that there are claims that are rejected there also. Oh, please. You can't be looking at that one reason to reject a claim. Please look at those 1,000 reasons why I should pay a claim. And I've been ranting this away for the last 26 years. A purpose of an insurance company is to pay a claim. Incidentally, you will do business. Look at it from that angle. And when you look at it from that angle, you will automatically come back to your product design. And your entire solicitation process, underwriting process, servicing process, everything will fall in place. Put the policy holder in the center. And I'll give you my example. This was about 3 years back, when we were looking at the amendments to the Insurance Act, which is now the SBSR Act, and the provisions of that. And as an industry set of people, me and my peers in the industry, we were sitting down and discussing a lot of provisions of the Act. I actually pulled my chair and sat in the center. I said, guys, you are the shareholders. He is a distributor. I am the policy holder. Ab mere bare mein baat karo. Please look at all the provisions that you are suggesting, amendments that you are suggesting to the Insurance Act. How is that going to help me as a policy holder? If it is good for the policy holder, it is good for everybody in this entire cycle. So everything that you do, put the policy holder in the center. And that was my question that I asked when I took office, my job under the IRDA Act is called out very clearly. KRAs are very, very clear. Protect the interests of policyholders, orderly growth of the industry. I said, who's my policyholder? Whose interest I'm supposed to protect? He is somewhere within insurance companies. And I get to know him when he cries, when he has an issue. That's the time I know, oh, okay, you are a policyholder. So let me see how I can help you. One of the reasons why we have started the entire public insurance registry project is to get to know who is the policyholder and also to be able to facilitate this entire Insurance for All 2047 project by saying, okay, these are the geographical gaps in this country where you have markets and opportunities to cover. Okay, the next A comes assurance. As insurance companies, we are very quick, and I'm saying we, I've been a part of this industry. We are very quick and very, very strict in telling the customer, I need your data. I need your history. Okay, and if you don't give me your entire history, I will find a way to reject your claim. So, uberema fide applies there. Where does the uberema fide apply on the other side? How do I, as an insurance company, assure the customer that, number one, the product that I have sold you is suitable for you? Number two, so long as you continue to keep paying the premiums, don't worry about the cover. Number three, if something happens, there is a claim incident, I am around. Okay. Number four, when I'm saying I am around, I will also, not only me as a company, I'm sustainable, I'm standing. I have the strength to pay the claim, and I will pay the claim. Where am I saying all of that? That's an assurance that I have to give. So you are taking an assurance and a disclosure from the customer. But on the other side, your assurance is like opaque. So look at it upfront, transparency, disclosure. What's the harm? Disclose. It is his call. Let him take the call. And it is the quality of your products and services that will determine. So once you do that, okay, create awareness, and I would focus on up to 2030 at least. Continue to create the awareness. Awareness will automatically keep the insurance industry, insurance as a subject, on top of the mind of the customer. Okay? And that will automatically create better brand awareness, better trust. So awareness, affordability, accessibility. Then once you have the assurance and the assurance converts into actual settlement of claims, which again the industry needs to talk about. The industry today is not talking enough about the good things that the industry is doing. I always keep saying, you know, the media is throwing us Yorkers and we are standing and defending like Nitin Pujara. I don't need to do that. Step out. Become a Suryavanshi. Step out. What's wrong? You have done so many good things. This industry has done so many good things in this country for so many years, the last 70, 75 years. Let's talk about it. Okay. That will also then, all these together, put together, will create acceptability. And once you have the acceptability, then there is a demand from the customer. And only then you will have the product moving towards a pull product. And if you look at one of the objectives of the SBSR Act, I'm saying one of the objectives, it is facilitating transparency in governance and operations of the regulated entities and the regulator. Mind you, we are also moving towards disclosures, transparency. So this is the first time ever any act is talking about transparency and governance in the regulator's office. See, so going forward, please keep this in mind. More and more transparency, more and more disclosures will be coming up. And that is, again, when I'm saying transparency disclosure, it has to be ease of access to such disclosure. That is also important. How does a common man access the data that you have disclosed? And in what format and how does he understand? Okay, that is also important, not the jargons that we usually use in this industry. Having said this, not many of us will be active at work by 2047. But I'm sure when we are there in our drawing rooms, relaxing and watching TV, I would love to see a statement there, Insurance for All, 2047 achieved. And we all will say proudly, I was there. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Sri Iyer, we would like you to stay back on stage as we would like to present you with a memento. And I request Mr. Praveen Vasishtha and Mr. Amit Roy from PwC to please present Sri Iyer with a memento. Amit is not there. He's not. Okay. A huge round of applause for Sri Iyer. A very informative talk, sir. And the Parle-G moment was absolutely spot on. We request Mr. Amit Roy also if he can come back. We can have a group photograph, sir, with Sri Iyer, with Mr. Amit Roy and Mr. Vasishtha also. Thank you.